All right, man. Let's get it. Welcome to another edition of No Pump Fake Sports. I'm your host, Passport T. Let's talk a little NBA basketball. Man, I want to come to you guys with a quick video this morning. I want to talk about Russell Westbrook and the Lakers. It was really, really disturbing last night to watch that game, man. It's a couple things I noticed right off the bat. Russell Westbrook and Rajon Rondo does not fit together at all. But the funny thing about that is this. At this stage of their career, even though Rondo is much older, Rondo is still a better pure point guard than Westbrook. Westbrook is ball dominant. His game is to, be super aggressive, drive to the lane, dunk, lay it up, be, really aggressive. He's like a bull in a china shop. But unfortunately, the way the Lakers are constructed with those big bodies like AD and DeAndre Jordan, they clog up the lane. And Russell really doesn't have those driving lanes like he did, when he was in OKC and when the Rockets, they moved Clint Capella, it opened up the lane a little bit. Well, the Lakers, they brought in DeAndre Jordan to man that center position. So I don't know what's going to happen right there. It seems like this lineup doesn't fit. And the thing about it is Russell Westbrook cannot shoot the basketball. He's not a good shooter. And I don't know if something is going on with him psychologically with his game, but he has turned into a turnover machine. Westbrook is turning the ball over, man, at a very high clip right now. It's disturbing. It's so high, it's disturbing. When you got a 36-year-old guy in Rondo that's a better point guard than you, and basically you were supposed to be the star to make up the big three that they brought in, and you getting outplayed at point guard is concerning. It's very concerning. Man, Russell had 8 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and he had 4 turnovers. Man, this is ridiculous. He had just as many turnovers as he had assists. And Golden State battled back and won that game when they was totally hampered. They didn't even have all their pieces, man. They didn't have Klay Thompson. They didn't have that other kid, I forgot his name right now. They didn't have Weissman. They were basically hampered, and Curry had a terrible game. So this brings a lot of concern in my mind, about the Lakers. I don't really like the way the coach, the way he put the, certain players out there together. It doesn't seem like his rotation is solid. He don't understand what's going on. And don't get me wrong, this is game one. Of course, everybody is looking, for what piece fit with what piece, you know what I mean? But I just don't see how you're going to get rid of AD, not get rid of him as far as, trade him to another team, but I mean like sit him on the bench or sit DeAndre Jordan on the bench so that Russell can have open lanes. I just don't see that happening. And so that's going to be a problem going forward because Russell cannot shoot the basketball. His 3-point percentage is very low. Even his mid-range is he's not really a good shooter. His game is to be powerful, explosive, drive to the hole. But he got 2 big guys in there, man, that clogs up the lane. So it's going to be a problem. Yeah, man. And I think going forward, age is going to be a factor. It's very early, so everybody going to look good all the way up into, after Christmas or early January. Everybody will look really solid. But when we get on the backside of the AllStar break, this is when you're going to see age creep in. You're going to see age become a factor. You're going to see, these older players playing 38, 40 minutes a game. It's going to take its toll. So I know everybody in the offseason was pumped. They thought the Lakers did had the greatest offseason of any team. But when I look at their roster, I don't really look at it like that. This roster reminds me of the old Gary Payton, Karl Malone, Dennis Rodman, you know, that old Lakers squad where they basically tried to put a bunch of big names that had great careers and bring them into the Lakers organization and thought they was just going to automatically win a championship. And it did not work out like that at all. This reminds me of that. And don't get me wrong, you know, of course, I could be a little bit of a homer because, you know, I'm a Clipper guy. But the Clippers roster is constructed much better than the Lakers. You know, when you're putting a team together, it's not just about putting stars together. This is where everybody is confused in today's NBA. They want to get the big two or the big three and then a bunch of other pieces. When you construct a basketball team, the biggest word in there is team. You got to put that team together from top to bottom. You need people who can slash and drive to the hole. You need people who can shoot the ball mid-range and three. On the defensive side, you need rim protectors. You need big bodies. You need a point guard who can give you decent assists. You have to construct a team, man, to fit together like a puzzle perfectly. You know what I mean? But the Lakers squad, I don't see this. The Lakers it's dysfunctional the way it's constructed. A lot of those pieces don't go together, and the age doesn't work well either. So, you know, I just think Kawhi is sitting back laughing. Is this the big three I'm supposed to be scared of? Because if you guys paid attention, man, some video circulating around right now. Kawhi is actually in the gym, man, shooting the ball, making moves already. And we not even 2 months, 3 months, you know, after his surgery, which makes me believe that Kawhi's injury wasn't as serious. It was a serious injury, but it wasn't as serious as people think. Like, I don't think he totally blew his ACL out. I think he just had partial little tear, little scuffing a little bit. And I think he's a lot further along than people believe. So I just think he's laughing about this Laker, you know, this all the hoopla around the Lakers saying that, you know, they going just everybody penciled them in to win the championship. And I don't think that's true. I think the Lakers aren't constructed properly. Like I said, Russell can't play with those bigs, and he can't shoot a jump shot. Him and Rondo don't really fit together. And if you have him starting at point guard, he's going to revert back to that ball dominant style and just running the show how he wants to run it, because this is all he's used to. He's been doing this his entire career. He didn't work in Houston because James Harden is basically that same guy. And James was just dominant in personality and on the court, and he wasn't having it. So what happened? They got Russell out of there. What did Russell do? He went over to the Wizards and did the exact same thing that he had been doing his entire career. Ball dominant, trying to get triple doubles, and just doing everything the way he wanted to do it. But with the Los Angeles Lakers, with all the history, with LeBron James, with AD, they already established. And Russell is basically the third piece that has to try to blend in with those guys. They've been there already. And nobody on the Lakers is going to be bigger than LeBron James. It's just not going to happen. So I believe it's a lot of concerns there, contrary to what the media is trying to make us believe. There's some concerns there. Russell is not really a good fit for the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm going to say it here first. But yeah, man, that's all I really have on this tape. You guys leave in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Do you think Russell is a good fit for the Lakers? Or do you think Houston, we have a problem? No pun intended. Do you think there's some concern here? But that's all I really have. This has been another edition of No Pump Fake Sports. I'm your host, Passport T, and I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Peace.